Hello my friends. What I have here is a traditional Iroquois bow that I made out of hickory, and it's a seasoned bow. It's ready to be shot, but the bow, it's too white and I want to stain this, and what I'm going to do is use a traditional stain. And what I have here is a bucket filled with black walnuts, and you can see right here some are fairly fresh, and of course I'm wearing gloves, and I'm going to take these walnuts and use the husk, and looking for a soft one. Okay, the green are fine, and what I'm going to do is take this soft green skin, and I'm going to rub this onto the wood, and of course I'm using rubber gloves because these will stain your hands. And this is something that was done for hundreds if not thousands of years using a natural stain. But the bow, the advantage of having a bow when you're hunting is minimal amount of movement, and you want to be stealthy, you want to be hiding, and you don't want to surprise the animal. So being white is a disadvantage. It'd be easily seen. So by coloring this, staining this, it puts us to a little more advantage. Now, the reason the bow had come about, it used to be the atto-atto was the weapon for thousands of years, and the atto-atto was as accurate as the bow, and it held much more energy in the shaft that you're throwing, and they were used to kill the woolly mammoths, the very large animals. In fact, during the early days of the European invasion of the Americas, there was a few tribes in South America that was still using the atto-atto, and the bows and arrows at the time, the Spanish were using metal armor, and the arrows would just bounce off of the armor. However, the atto-atto had so much power in that it would penetrate through the metal armor, and it was very effective with that. But the atto-atto was phased out because to use it you had to stand and you had to go through an extreme arm motion, which would frighten or scare the animal and cause you to miss more often. So so far I'm using just one walnut, and you can see here this one may stain the entire bow. So I kind of got lost what I was saying. The atto-atto phased out because the bow was more stealthy, and the bow and arrow was only in the Americas for a little over 1,000 years, and it was being used, the atto-atto was being used almost exclusively at that time prior to the bow. Okay, now we'll just leave it set and let it dry and oxidize and see where we're at. Here we have the finished bow, and it maintained its orangish yellowish color, and it looks very close to the way a Osage Orange would look. So I'm going to keep this color like this. If you want a darker stain, then you would use the walnut husks that are already black, and it will give you a real dark stain. So this came from the green shell or husk of the walnut. After the wood has been stained, then what the natives would do is rub the bow staff down with bear grease, and that would make it somewhat waterproof and would make it last quite a bit longer. It would keep the wood drier on the inside. And the bow would not have been strung until it was ready to be used. And usually what would happen is it was kept in a sheath to keep it dry. And a lot of times they would carry a second bow with them if they were going on a long hunt. Ideally, the bow should be aged. The wood should be aged for about a year. And a lot of times what they would do is cut their staves, have the bow shaved down to the approximate size, and they would store spares for in case they lost or broke one of their bows. They wouldn't have a year time waiting for these to cure to be a usable bow. Making a bow out of green wood that without being seasoned, they have a tendency to want to break. Once it's seasoned, it has its strength into it. Well, this bow is ready for a string and it's ready for a handle. And what I'll do is make a handle wrap for this one. Well, thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.